The Annapurna Conservation Area was established in 1985 and is Nepal's largest protected area. It's covering 7,600 square kilometers in the Himalayas. It's home to the 3 Annapurna peaks and the famous Annapurna circuit. Hi, my name is Salo and I'm part of the Follow Alice team. We are always looking for new and exciting adventure trips, which this time led me to this amazing journey in the Himalayas, and I wish to share this with you in this video. The trip started in Kathmandu. The city is very charming and authentic, so we took the opportunity to walk a bit around and experience the first impressions of Nepal. This is the first real test to going upstairs.
Yeah.
Are you excited?
Yes, very.
We were met by Sonam in the morning, who made sure to go through all our equipment and make sure that we had all the important pieces. Trying to get all our gear ready, and these guys are basically the superstars of this trip. This is Sonam, he'll be our guide, and we have another Sonam. As with any other trekking trips in Nepal, you can either choose to go with a local guide that will guide you through the environment and knows the local people, or you can choose to do it on your own. We chose to go with a guide, and I strongly believe this is the best way to experience a new place. They know the locals, they speak the language, and they know the area, and in our experience it was a really valuable thing to have on this trip. After getting ready, we drive to Beshisahar from Kathmandu. This is the famous Mustang apple from the Mustang region. Here we will change from a minibus into a jeep, as the terrain's gonna be very different. It was a bit of a mixed feeling to do the jeep ride today. The roads are now open to jeeps, and it's a relatively new thing on the Annapurna circuit. On one hand, I would have loved to hike all the way and experience the nature and the waterfalls. But on the other hand, we would have to have walked besides all the jeeps and all the dust that follows along. Some might argue that this is wrong and not something that belongs to the trail, but I had to keep in mind and respect the wish of the locals. They need to be able to transport goods for themselves and their families, and I couldn't imagine having to carry everything on foot. I mean, in our life, in our cities, we transport everything on the roads that we build. On the positive side, this will push people into other regions that is not very well known, and maybe open up new opportunities for other local communities. From Beshisahar, we drove to Jagat for the night.
Just finished arriving to Jagat, so I think we will eat something now. Let's see.
This is Momo, no?
No, it's Momo. Where's Momo?
I were a coffee woman, I were a coffee lady, but not anymore. I am converted to the ginger tea religion.
As with any other trips, what really makes it amazing is the group that you go with. And I would like to take this opportunity to introduce you to my group. This is Dan. He's a good friend of mine for a very long time. You might have seen him in some of the other videos that we have. Another part of the team is Sarah, and she's a keen adventurer. She has this very uplifting attitude towards life, and she never fails to bring her llama and all the medical equipment to new heights. Sylvia is the globetrotter of this team. She's traveled to more places than most of us hope to experience. She's an absolute superwoman when it comes to connecting with the locals and immerse herself in the local culture. After completing the circuit, she even went on trekking the Mera Peak. Paulo spends most of his time under sea level, as opposed to this elevating to 5,000 meters on this trip. He's the calm and confident part of this group, which brought us to a lot of mind-opening conversations. and I definitely feel that this trip wouldn't have been the same without him. George is an officer in the Portuguese military. His daily task is to jump out of airplanes and push his soldiers to new heights. He's probably the most fit out of all of us, and he's a great benchmark for the rest of the group to keep up with. I did try to keep up with his push-ups, but I must admit, it didn't go that well. Our lead guide is Sonam. He's originally from the Mustang region and part of the ethnic groups known as Sherpas. The Sherpas are really the backbone to any trek or expedition in Nepal. With more than a lifetime spent in this region, we couldn't wish for a more knowledgeable and qualified guide to lead us and show us his beautiful home. Today we will do the last leg of the jeep ride from Jagat to Lower Pisang, where our trek will officially begin.
I was hoping for snow and ice, but well,
Not
it's
yet.
not that bad. At least not yet. The highest point I was before this was 2,000 meters, which is the highest point in Portugal. Now we're at 3,075 meters something. And if you're walking, you can actually feel your heartbeat just rising up. If I was at sea level, I wouldn't be having this, but 3,000 meters, it gets your heart racing.
Lower Pisang is such a lovely and authentic little village, and the people were so nice and welcoming when we arrived at the tea hut. The tea huts are the accommodation you will have on this trail. They vary a lot, but normally they are quite cozy and small places where you can get to meet the locals and try some of the amazing dalbat.
This is dalbat. Dalbat power. It's a lentil soup. It's lentil like curry thing, rice, some vegetable curry, some spinach and onion, and then papadon. Traditional Nepali Himalayan food.
It's basically your fuel for the trek, and as they say, there's no dalbat, there is no life. Today we start our trek from Lower Pisang to Manang, and I simply cannot wait to get started. The weather was not too great, and we had some rain to start off with. Manang is the heart of the Annapurna circuit. It's a very vibrant village with many trekkers, as this is an ideal place for your first acclimatization at 3,500 meters.
So this is our accommodation in Manang. It's a typical tea house. It's quite basic. You have your bed, you have your stuff, you have a plug, but it also has a toilet. And it's actually a normal European toilet. Quite unexpected.
Hot showers are available here at the tea houses, and it's really a pleasure to take after a long hike. After we got settled, we had our dinner and then went to bed. Today is our acclimatization day, and we will do the principle of walking high and sleeping low. This will allow our bodies to register what we are doing and acclimatize properly. We reached the 4,000 meter point, and we decided to have our lunch with the team before heading down to Manang.
We have Tibetan bread, some eggs, and some apples.
The rest of the day was spent walking around the village and exploring it a little bit. We also attended one of the free altitude classes set up by the local NGOs. It's a really good way to gain some insights to high altitude. Today is our second acclimatization day in Manang. We went hiking on one of the nearby hills, and we also saw the amazing Manang Lake. The lake is made by melting water from the nearby mountains. We reached 4,000 meters again to acclimatize, and I must admit I was struggling a little bit, but soon that went over.
I think this is the view I like the most throughout the whole trip, so far at least.
We spent some time at the top, taking in the views, enjoying the sunshine before hiking back down.
Привет, как дела? Хорошо. Пойдет. Спокойно.
No.
Today we are trekking from Manang to Yakarka. It's a relatively short hike, but the views are getting more and more incredible. It was another sunny day, and we took our time to enjoy the journey.
Doing great, chilling, looking at the mountains, enjoying life.
This trek is really growing on me. It's really hard to describe, but being in this vast nature and being surrounded by these magnificent mountains is one of the most humble experiences I've ever had. It seems like all my worries in the world disappeared, and I'm fueled with joy and new energy. We arrived rather early, and then we unwind and explored the area a little bit. This was also our first time sleeping above 4,000 meters. We are hiking to Torong Peti today, and we're gonna reach an altitude of 4,450 meters.
Tonight doesn't sleep any much because we are in the height of 4,100 meters and it's not easy to get a proper sleep here.
Let's go.
Yes.
Life is good. We're huffing and puffing up the mountain. Maybe another 3 or 4 hours to go. But the views are still gorgeous, but we're finding it hard to breathe now.
It was a bit of a hard trek as we felt the altitude and the lack of oxygen. But nevertheless, a beautiful part of the trail and an incredible views as we got higher up. There is a high and a low camp here. Some people choose to sleep in the high camp, but most people settled around here.
Basically, we're at 4,550 meters. We're gonna have some dinner now, and it's an early dinner since it's 6 o'clock. Not even 6, but almost. And we're gonna wake up at 1:30 to leave this place at 2 a.m. and to climb over the pass.
Morning, we are having some breakfast. It's almost 2 a.m. Today we'll be walking for a long time. We'll go to Trangla Pass.
How are you doing, Pablo?
Fine.
Dan?
Good.
Hey there. We are just arrived at high camp after 1 hour walking.
This was the first part to the high camp and was a little bit steep compared to what we have trekked already. At the high camp we got some tea to warm up, and after the break we continued our trek. It was a full moon and we were really lucky to have clear skies. This was really amazing, but ultimately it also meant that it was a bit colder. I really did not expect to see any signs of life here, but as we reached 5,000 meters, we had a break in a little tea house. And I must say, it was a very well-deserved break.
Place is nearby, between the high camp and then top of the Thongla.
Struggle real, guys?
Yeah, I can feel my fingers. They're shit. Can't even pick up shit.
Feeling good, a little bit cold, and we still have another 500 meters to go up.
The altitude and the cold has started to test us now even more. We didn't have any signs of altitude sickness, but it was cold and we could feel the lack of oxygen.
Okay, a little bit headache, but I'm alright.
After 2 hours, we reached the pass at 5,400 meters. The sunrise and the warmth from the sun was a true blessing. Some of us were struggling a bit with the cold, but Sonam and the team was very quick to help us get warm again. A cup of warm tea also goes a long way in this situation.
Slowly, we success to climb off here Thongla Pass, 5,460 meters.
It was an incredible feeling being up here, and I was really happy that we all made it.
It's basically 2 stripes, one red, one green.
After some time on the pass, we begin our descent down to Muktinad with a little breakfast stop. It was another beautiful sunny day, so we took the time to enjoy it and our well-deserved food.
Dalbat is life.
This is Dalbat.
This is Dalbat.
Dalbat power 24-hour.
Yeah.
How was today for you?
Painful but grateful. When we arrive at the top, for me is the best part.
The reason I chose to do this is because, first of all, I love Nepal. Second of all, I love nature. And third, challenges are good for you.
When you are up 4,000 meters high, it's really, really cold. And we were prepared. But still, you cannot expect to know everything that you will find through the way. When we reached Thongla Pass in 5,400 meters high, I was really cold. I was not feeling my fingers in my feet or in my hands. And I was shaking. I was starting to get hypothermia. So it was really hard for me to get through, but with all the help from my friends in this journey, it was possible. And it is an amazing feeling to be up there. It was the hardest thing for me to do physically since forever. Now that I'm down here again in the sun and I'm warm, I can feel it's a great feeling that I could do it.
On our way to Muktinad, we took the time to visit some temples and explore a little bit of the local attractions. George brought some emergency flares with him, and together with Sarah they took the opportunity to shoot them as a form of celebration on the trip. We were quite tired this evening, so we went to bed early. Today we leave Muktinad and drive to Jomsom, where we catch our flight to Pokhara.
Todo bien, muy bien. Sí, señor. Todo español.
We spent the evening with our new local friends and showed our gratitude towards all the hard work helping us on this journey. This is also where we had to say goodbye to these amazing guys.
Good morning, we're finally on exiting Jomsom and we're gonna take the flight to Pokhara. Yeah. So the runway is right here, which is directly behind the place where we stayed. It was amazing, it was a nice experience to see the planes take off and land during the morning. Then we're gonna catch our own flight. It's an 18-minute flight, but a 6-hour drive. It's gonna be fun.
We really got to see the environment we've been trekking in on this flight in a whole new perspective. Pokhara is an amazing city, and we took the opportunity to walk around and explore it a bit together with the team. Today we drive from Pokhara back to Kathmandu, where our trip sadly will end. I'm really humbled by this experience and feel blessed to have had the opportunity to experience this beautiful country and made incredible new friends along the way. I hope this video has inspired you to go on this life-changing adventure. And if you have any questions or need any help, then please leave a comment and I'll get back to you. An adventure is what fuels the soul. Here is to new adventure.